Hey guys, it's Keith here, and this one we're going to be playing with our guard motor division here. I have named it as Tsar's music because we're going to be dancing around the enemy a lot, and we're going to be back on Baltiysk in this game today. Now, I just want to preface that the 2K plus ELO games here are very difficult for me to handle, as I match with very adept players here, proving themselves to be a difficult challenge to overcome. Nevertheless, I think that I'm slowly improving, just need to go through a lot of games. But in this one today, I wanted to showcase how constant aggression and useful, constantly being aggressive tactically is going to help you win the match, so to say. But without further ado, I hope you sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. And with the start of the game here, we're not going to be bringing out an aircraft today because this deck that I'm working with does not actually have any air superiority aircrafts here. So we're going to be relying on our teammates in this round, bringing out their aircrafts here to challenge the skies over in Baltiysk, already coming up against multiple enemy aircrafts, including the red player's B1B Lancer at the start of the game, definitely bringing out a nuke. And already our teammates are going to dive straight into the Lancer here, covering the ground forces. Does eliminate the enemy nuke, as the confirmation was confirmed over the 1000 points scored for our teams here, but our side unfortunately loses all of our aircraft. So a relatively even trade, I would say, and definitely another reason why you should always be bringing out an aircraft, at least for your team. Nevertheless, our ground forces here are going to be pushing up very quickly towards our contending our objectives right now, and you can see I have brought up multiple BTR 82s. Now, the deck that I'm working with today is designed to be a very fast, mobile, and agile ground-based forces here, because I want to quickly overwhelm and engage the enemy in close quarters combat, and generally become a very difficult target to contain, with these BTR 82 providing me a lot of speed and mobility to effectively move into the map here. But as with any Baltiysk playstyle here, the map distance is not that far, so we're going to quickly engage and come across the enemy forces here. Our units moving into position is covering the pink player's Osprey here, and we already know that we're coming up against the enemy Marine squad. Osprey successfully drops off its units there, and in comes the enemy Viper here. The enemy Viper definitely a threat here, but our forces already deployed. The Eagle team's gonna be launching their missiles towards the enemy attack helicopter and destroying that completely. BTR 82 is gonna be bumping into the enemy Force Recon squad, and we can see a Cat Toe team as well as a Dragon team over in the back there. Our long-range Cornet missiles overlooking the has taken control of these high towers here. It's going to be providing a lot of long-range missiles here, but unfortunately unable to connect with the enemy AAVP. So the enemy AAVP is going to be offloading its double combat engineer squad. Excellent units to be used in close-range assaults here, but we're going to be charging our BTR 82 directly into the enemy Cat Toe team as well as Dragons there, eliminating them very quickly and putting a lot of stress. I don't want to have their machine guns and so as their long-range missiles there being a potential threat to my reinforcements coming in. So we're going to dive our BTR 82 and providing and definitely damaging a lot of these enemy assets there. Single BTR 82 left alive. We're going to be taking out the enemy Dragon squad as well, but what we failed to do was actually take out the enemy AAVP, and that's going to be apparent later on, and you'll see why in just a bit. We also unable to take out any of the combat engineers here, so the combat engineer survives. Our forces are now going to have to pull back to a supply dump, so we're already moving our supplies back from that towers here. Now, I did bring up a Grad here, and this Grad is equipped with explosive explosive ordnance here. Unfortunately, I made the mistake of making or pushing my Grad too close to the front lines here, so definitely something that I need to be aware of when you're using artillery pieces. There's definitely a minimum range here, so so a bit of a mistake for me for the time being. We do have a Zu-33-2M here, and this is just the Euro, the lorry belonging to the Russian side, equipped with the powerful Zu-23 cannons on top of the lorry here. So it's going to be a very important anti-air assets here, but it's also a powerful anti-infantry assets when used correctly. So I'm going to be using it to sort of skim around the buildings here, trying to see if I can find a line of sight into the enemy combat engineers. As you can see, the combat engineers is actually recharging or resupplying there, and that's thanks to the heavily damaged AAVP that was still around. It's just going to be sitting behind these buildings here, providing the combat engineers unlimited supplies to rearm, refresh, recharge without the supply dump. So another reminder why you should take out enemy vehicles, especially more so than ever right now. Nevertheless, our BTR-2 is going to be ferrying one of these cornet squads behind, as the enemy marines was dropped off by the ACV. It's now engaging our support squads here. Our support squads are not going to be able to stand up against that marines here. We're still trying to figure out how to use the grad effectively as well. But in comes the M10 Booker as well as another ACV here. Definitely more units coming into play, but our own forces are now reinforcing the front lines here, as we do have a T-80 tank shelling the ground, but our teammate bombs the enemy forces while the pink player bombs our forces. So both sides are heavily damaged right now. I lost all of my supporting assets, but nevertheless we do have more infantry now, able to just push into the Charlie sector, and our Strumoviki is going to be engaging the enemy combat engineers from a long range. These fragmentation RPG launchers damaging the already stressed out combat engineers, but the enemy does have double M10 Booker around the Charlie objectives right now. None of our infantry actually have any RPGs able to penetrate the armor there. So we're going to have to rely on our T-80 right now, finding a flanking shot, moving to the side, and providing some flanking shot into these M10 Bookers. Our teammate, Teal player here, bringing out a single BMP-3 with the Ouflanking squad, is going to be lending some crucial support here. The BMP-3, a very dangerous threat against infantry from a range, as well as the Ouflanking complement here. It's going to be providing some crucial support. Our grad finally launches its payload. It's going to be striking down one of the M10 Bookers, but in danger of team killing my teammate's BMP-3 here. Our boomerang here is going to be offloading one of these guards and finding another cheeky flanking shot into the M10 Booker. So already our aggressive playstyle here is going to be putting a lot of stress into the pink player, and our forces able to quickly deploy into these flanking areas, providing excuse me, providing some excellent flanking shots into these bookers. The red player has brought out a B2 Spirit here, nuking the Charlie position. Albeit I think I was although it was definitely painful to my own units, but I think in looking at the larger picture here, I wasn't actually the biggest threat, I think. Nevertheless, the red player has a B1B Lancer equipped with nukes. He has also a B2 Spirit equipped with nukes as well, so we've just got nuked ourselves. Nevertheless, the red player also has several Ranger squad in these tree lines here, so our vehicles are going to have to be careful here. You notice that I'm charging my boomerang towards the right side of the map here, just to see if I can capture that objective, because the gamma position here, because I've realized that the red player may not actually have any forces in that sector. And lo and behold, the enemy only has a single Stinger team, so our boomerang is gonna quickly deal with that anti-air unit there. Well, we're also capturing the gamma position here, which is gonna help us with our scores. Our boomerang eliminating the enemy Stinger team is gonna duck behind one of these buildings here to hide away from any potential enemy helicopters or forces. And you can see pink player already bringing up a second Viper here, trying to eliminate my boomerang. But our forces here has been completely devastated by the enemy nuke over in the Charlie sector, so we're gonna have to quickly bring up fresh reinforcements as well. A second tank now coming in, as well as the Cessna to cover us from the skies, as we've already noticed that the enemy has a Viper flying around. Our teammate is spotting that the enemy is bringing double AAVP, so definitely we're expecting a lot of infantry here already moving down the road. So I was expecting them to come through the center between these forests here, but the enemy has decided to use the flanking route here. So which is going to be working out neatly for us because our BMP T-80UM as well as the second T-80UM in a position to be ambushing these AAVP. Our guards already in a position to launch one of its rockets, RPGs, into the AAVP, already destroying one. The second one is going to go down, and all these Marines are going to be stressed when entering the fight. But we are getting pincered ourselves as the enemy, the red player now has a Thunderbolt as well as Ranger squad pushing in towards our tank. Our tank does take out the enemy Thunderbolt, and here comes our Cessna launching these missiles, long-range missiles against the enemy Viper here. Cessna is definitely a very cool anti-aircraft assets here, AA piece here, available to the Russian side. Very long range without necessarily needing any radar support. So happy to be using that Cessna to cover our skies here, as our tank does make it out alive and we take down the enemy Viper team. Viper attack helicopter, sorry. Our teammate also bringing out a helicopter as well, and right now he's being engaged by some kind of shore rat towards the left side here, so we're going to be pushing our tanks into those tree lines to try and harass, destroy and potentially eliminate the enemy anti-aircraft guns. Charlie is still under sector here, our control here, as our T-80 does a reverse shot and into the Marine squad, destroying that Marine unit completely. Our Grad has been effective in the beginning, but we're gonna have to quickly rearm the Grad to be used later on at the later stages of the game. You can see on the left side here we're covered by the Neon player with a lot of infantry already around his side of the objective. But our tank is going to be ambushed by the pink player's Booker here, and charging our tank into these tree lines like this without any infantry support is actually a very dangerous thing to do, because any anti-tank infantry is going to be able to quickly destroy our tank, or at the very least incapacitate and immobilize our tank. So it's definitely a risky gamble here. And I'm only saying this because while at this stage of the game I'm definitely not there yet in terms of skill, but just a heads up, shouldn't really be pushing your tank deep into any forest here without infantry support. Nevertheless, we got a bit lucky here. We're going to be using our tank to chase down the enemy LAV-AD. The LAV-AD, also another Marine unit here, anti-aircraft gun. It's going to be quickly destroyed by our T-80UM. With our mission completed, we're going to be pulling back our T-80 right now back to supply them to get it healed up and back into the fight later on. The M10 Booker is wounded, but is a very dangerous threat to our forces here so far. Cessna still holding the high ground here, watching the skies for any potential enemy helicopter that might push over the hill in this forest here. I'm thankful to be joined by my teammate Teal player here on this line on front, because definitely we're facing up against both the red and the pink player, so we're gonna need all the help that we can get. Teal player also doing a very good job at securing the right side here, but the right side Gamma objective has already been resecured by the red player, and we're gonna be we're gonna see if we can recapture that position ourselves. Now Metis, able to intercept one of the enemy Humvees, gonna taking that down, but we're unable to see any infantry because we lack the recon units in position to be watching over that road. Now tanked made it back to a supply dump right now. It's gonna get healed up very quickly. You can see Teal player already making moves towards the Gamma objectives here, and this is when I decided, okay, we're gonna keep up the pressure, because we've been exerting a lot of pressure onto both the pink and the red player right now, and sensing that the enemy might not actually have any units inside these tree lines here, we're gonna see if we can keep up the pressure and continue to take more wins as much as we can. Neon player has a strong presence of infantry here, all huddled up inside the Bravo objective, and as strong as that might seem to be, but a single nuke over the Bravo objective would have wiped out his entire forces here. So ideally I think he should have spread out his units, but we'll see what happens in next. The enemy pink player is bringing up double M10 Bookers right now, and our Spetsnaz crew is gonna have that RPG ready to engage these Bookers, but we do have the Mi-28 Ohonic here. Gonna be pushing in the Ohonic and try to engage these M10 Bookers, but we do find the enemy supply dumps. Destroying that is going to be crucial for us to eliminate any potential resupplies for these enemy vehicles that are hovering over there. our tank, now fixed up, is going to take up position over in the tree line here just to catch any potential enemy vehicles using this road to push down. But the M10 Booker now makes the mistake of pushing out right now. As our Spetsnaz Gru already in a position to be incapacitating one, and our Hornet finishes the job on the second M10 Booker. Over on the right side, you can see the red player pushing his Rangers. Now, the Rangers are obviously a very dangerous threat, but with its low health and our units having the superior numbers, we're going to quickly eliminate those Rangers as well. Our tank pushing up too close is going to be engaging the enemy Dragon. The Dragon does have the range here on our tank, and we're going to have to quickly pull our tank back to safety. You can see on the left side of the screen here, I have brought up double book M3s here, and that's just because I am terribly afraid of the nuke happening on our on me and our team once again. So we're going to be bringing out double books here to make sure that we don't get engaged by the enemy nukes once again. Our Spetsnaz Gru manages to ambush the enemy shore rat, then destroying that shore rat for us. But here comes the pink players Marines, also getting intercepted by our Spetsnaz Gru, but the enemy does have a Marine squad as well as combat engineers, so our Spetsnaz Gru is gonna have to quickly get away. On the left side here, the enemy brings out a M1N1 HC. It's gonna be a powerful supporting asset from the enemy side. But with its infantry pressing hard against us, the teal player now sends his BMP-1s as well as the engineers. The engineers are equipped with thermobaric bombs, thermobaric RPGs, so it's gonna be an effective unit against anti-infantry squads. Our tank unfortunately gets shot at the back by those double tanks there, so we're gonna be relying on our helicopters as well as the Cornet team to finish the job. I was launching my grad here. Unfortunately, team player is also pushing his units at the same time, so hopefully we're not gonna incur any team kills right now, and that's definitely not my team kill there. But our grab completes its bombing run, does hurt the enemy infantry a little bit, which is gonna be handy for our teammate teal players engineers to finish up the job and chasing down these Marine squad, eliminating them very quickly. Our forces are now arrayed. You can see I've brought up another BTR with more Cornet as well as Stinger teams. Sorry, Igla teams now. The Igla now stinging the enemy Apache longbow. I believe that's an Apache longbow here, but unable to finish the job. Our Cornet there is gonna sit in that building to watch the road on the right side and making sure the enemy cannot push any reinforcements coming down the right side without us punishing them. Red player was trying to bomb us with that F-35B, but our teammates S-300 battery takes it out very quickly as well. You can see teal player also having the same mindset here, is going to be pushing his forces very aggressively. And I have a lot to learn from the teal player itself, because the teal player has been doing some very fantastic move throughout this game. But here comes the double tanks now belonging to the pink player coming out from the forest here, coming to play once again. But the teammate teal player here does have some SSO, but the engineers getting out of position, getting caught off guard here, is going to be quickly eliminated. More T-80UM Drots tanks here are going to be brought up from me to shore up our defenses over in the Charlie objective, as we want to make sure that we contest this point and keep it locked down under our side so that we can secure more points for the game. I have brought out the Su-25T, and I wanted to try out the Su-25 with its rocket here, but I have temporarily forgotten that when you issue the strafing run order, it will in fact go up to higher altitude, and the moment it did that, the enemy sand batteries immediately shot it out of the sky. So unfortunately, well, that's definitely a lesson for me to learn. small teams now engaging with our Strumovikis, but our Honik using these high risers as cover is going to be launching some long-range attacker missiles into these tanks here. Our T-80 is going to be engaging the tank head-on as well, but with the support of our helicopters, we're going to be pushing the tank back deeper into the forest here, and hopefully we can eliminate at least one of them. Our helicopter also eliminates the enemy infantry squad that was holding down their position here. With the support of the Spetsnaz crew, we are also wiping off the Charlie objective of any remaining Marines here that are holding us back. T-80 is just going to be striking down the enemy Marine raiders here, but ideally I shouldn't be keeping the T-80 this long unsupported here, because the enemy does have many tanks here, and a single Viper could have just popped out and eliminated my tank for free. Nonetheless, we got lucky here, I think, and eliminating the enemy Marines is going to be a very positive kill for us as well. The enemy artillery struck down one of our teammates' ATGM launchers here, so unfortunately, I wouldn't say much because I think the TU player has been doing fantastic, but definitely this is a game about micromanaging your units, making sure that they're in position, so ideally you want to be constantly moving your units as best as you can. You can see I'm also struggling with that myself. We did end up actually losing both of our books earlier on, and you can see I no longer have my books because the enemy has plenty of seed missiles in this game, and it's unfortunate that I couldn't turn off my books radar whenever I need to. Nonetheless, artillery now continues to shell into our objective, our units here, taking up the high rise, so our BTR-2 is already handy in place to be ferrying these Cornet back to a supply dump to get them rearmed and repaired. Right now we're just biding our time building up our reinforcements here, but seeing that the TU player is now pushing very aggressively into the front with his BMP, I'm going to be looking to support him by moving my units closer to the front as well. So at this point you just saw me queuing up a bunch of units, again more BTR-82, very fast and agile transports here, and that's because I think we are constantly just engaging the enemy from the front here, and I want to be taking advantage of the flanking route towards the right side. We're going to see that in a bit as we wait for our reinforcements to come into position here. Grad has been topped up fully, and we want to use that Grad to cover our approach as we continue to engage the enemy here. Sosna getting taken out by the enemy artillery, unfortunate, and like I said, it's very crucial that you keep your units moving, but definitely a very difficult thing to do when a lot of things are happening at the same time. Our Spetsnaz is supporting our teammates' infantry now, making a very brutal fight in the center here against the pink players' forces, as well as the red players' infantry here. Strumomiki is going to be moving up ahead as our Honik getting recharged, but our T-80 unfortunately getting spotted as well, and I'm not sure about this, but I think that might have been a drone hovering overhead that we weren't able to see or spot. But nevertheless, we're going to be moving our T-80 right now as most of our reinforcements are already coming in, and this is when we're going to be initiating our tactics right now. Grad seeing some potential into these tree lines here. We're going to be targeting the Grad into a wide area here. Hopefully we strike any supply dumps where the enemy sand batteries might be hiding in or hiding on. But the tank is going to be pushing down on the right side here and covering the fact that the red player has a lot of units using this road here, as our own units are getting shelled as well from a distance here. So probably a sniper team in the back providing a lot of recon for the enemy side. But here we go, our units building up on the right side is going to be using this road. We're going to be telling our units to use the road, push into the back lines here where all these sand batteries are, and ignoring the pink player's frontal assault temporarily. I want to do this so that I can draw the pink player out to engage us, where our helicopter is already in play and it's going to be launching a lot of missiles here, but the enemy does have a shore red covering his tank, and our Mi-28 or Honik is going to be taken out. We do have a Cornet still, and this Cornet is going to find a nice line of sight into the Abrams here. It's our team player also doing the same thing here with his helicopter moving into position. Our units now charging down the road. Teammate covering us from the enemy longbow, and it's going to be taking that down while tank engages the enemy AAVP. But our teammate's helicopter finds a juicy target. Plenty of Brutus here, it's taken out immediately, and it's going to continue on the carnage here as our BTR-82 does the same. It's going to be taking the pink player SAM batteries here for our kill. So a lot have just happened, and and the Tennessee team has just surrendered. GG. The last pressures, definitely too much for them, as we ended up with 4,820 points, 3,730 deaths with a good ratio of 1.29. Whoa guys, the 2k plus elos, definitely a very tough game for me, but like always I'm just gonna keep continuing to learn, to do better next time, and hopefully bring better fights to you guys in the future. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.